Typing in an email field should be simple, but what if users enter something that's not even an email? A missing @ or an incomplete domain? Errors like these can break your form's functionality. Today, let's make sure that never happens by implementing real-time email validation using JavaScript. A huge thank you to all the amazing patrons who support Code Instinct. Your contributions keep this channel running and help bring more coding tutorials to life. If you'd like access to free source code and exclusive content, you can join on Patreon for as little as $3 per month. Also, a quick reality check: only 2.1% of viewers are subscribed to this channel. If you find this content helpful, subscribing would mean a lot. It's free, takes just a second, and helps ensure more programming tutorials like this keep coming your way. Inside the body of this HTML document, there is a div container with the class input container. This container holds two elements, an input field for email validation and an error message display. Within the input container, there is another div element with the class input group. This serves as the input wrapper, ensuring both the email icon and the input field are visually grouped together. Inside this wrapper, there is a Google Material icon represented by the span element with the class material icons, displaying an email icon. This icon provides a visual cue to users, indicating that the input field is specifically for entering an email address. Next to the icon, there is an input field of type email, identified by the ID email. This field allows users to enter their email addresses. While benefiting from built-in browser validation for email formatting, the placeholder text, "Enter your email," guides users on what information is expected in the field. Additionally, to JavaScript event handlers are attached the onInput validate email function, which triggers real-time validation whenever the user types into the field. The onFocus hide error function, which ensures that when the user clicks inside the input field, any previously displayed error message is hidden. Below the input field, there is a div element with the ID error message and the class error. This element is used to display an error message when the user enters an incorrectly formatted email. Initially, it is hidden, but if the input does not match a valid email pattern, the error message "correct email format is example @domain.com" is displayed. This structure ensures a seamless user experience, with intuitive design and real-time feedback to guide users in entering a properly formatted email address. The CSS styling for this email validation input field is designed to create a modern and user-friendly interface. Let's go through each section in detail, explaining every element and its styling properties in an organized and structured manner. The body of the web page is set up as a flex container, allowing elements to be arranged efficiently. The display property is set to flex, ensuring easy alignment of content. To keep the elements centered, both horizontal and vertical alignment are applied using Justify Content Center and Align Neatum Center. The height of the body is set to 100% of the viewport height, making sure the layout fills the entire screen. The background color is a light gray, providing a soft and neutral backdrop. The font style used is Poppins, a modern sans serif font, ensuring readability and consistency throughout the page. The flex direction is set to column, aligning elements in a vertical arrangement. Lastly, the position property is set to relative, allowing absolute positioning of child elements when needed. The input container is a flexbox container, holding both the input field and the error message. It is set to relative positioning, meaning any absolute positioned elements inside it will be positioned relative to this container. The display property is set to flex, while the flex direction is column, stacking the input field and error message on top of each other. The alignatem's property is set to center, ensuring that everything within this container is perfectly aligned. The input group class is responsible for styling the input field wrapper, which contains both the email icon and the text input. The display property is set to flex, allowing the input field and the icon to be placed next to each other. The alignment is centered, ensuring a balanced appearance. The border is set to a solid, light gray color, providing a soft outline around the input box. The border radius is 15 pixels, giving the input field smooth, rounded edges. The inner spacing is 10 pixels, ensuring adequate padding around the text and icon. The background color is white, providing a clean contrast against the light gray background. The width of this group is fixed at 300 pixels, ensuring uniformity. Additionally, a box shadow effect is applied, giving a subtle lift to the input field, enhancing its visibility and depth. The email icon inside the input group is styled separately using the Material Icons class. The color of the icon is set to a medium gray, ensuring it blends well with the design while remaining visible. A left margin of 5 pixels is applied to slightly separate it from the edge, creating a balanced look. The text input field, where users enter their email, is styled for both aesthetics and usability. The border is removed, ensuring a clean and minimalistic appearance. The outline is also disabled, preventing the default browser styling when the user clicks inside the field. The width is set to 100%, making sure it stretches to fill the available space inside its container. The font size is 16 pixels, providing clear and readable text. A left padding of 8 pixels is added to prevent the text from sticking too close to the icon. The font family remains Poppins, keeping consistency across the entire form. The error message appears when an incorrect email format is detected. It is styled using the error class. The text color is red, making it highly noticeable when displayed. The font size is 12 pixels, ensuring it does not take up too much space but remains readable. The position is set to absolute, meaning it is positioned relative to the input container. The bottom value is set to -25 pixels, ensuring it appears slightly below the input field. The left position is set to 50%, making sure it is aligned centrally. To perfectly center the text, a translatext transformation of -50% is applied. By default, the error message is hidden using the display none property, ensuring it only becomes visible when needed. The font remains Poppins, maintaining uniformity with the rest of the design. The width is set to 320 pixels, providing enough space for the text to be displayed clearly. The text alignment is centered, keeping the error message visually balanced. Finally, the focus state of the input field is styled to ensure a seamless user experience. When the user clicks inside the input field, the outline remains disabled, keeping the interface clean and consistent with the overall design. The JavaScript code for this email validation functionality is structured into 2 functions: validate email and hide error. Each function plays a specific role in ensuring real-time email validation and a seamless user experience. Let's break down the JavaScript logic in detail, covering every function, variable, and element used in this script. The first step inside the function is to retrieve the necessary HTML elements using document.getElement by ID, email. Input variable stores a reference to the input field with the ID email. This allows JavaScript to access and manipulate the value entered by the user. Error message stores a reference to the error message div with the ID error message. This is used to control its visibility based on the validation result. Email pattern is a regular expression, or regexp, that defines the rules for a valid email format. The pattern ensures that the email starts with one or more non-space and non-at characters, followed by exactly one at symbol, then contains one or more non-space and non-at characters domain name, followed by exactly one dot, ends with one or more non-space characters, like top-level domain, like .com, .org, etc. This, if condition checks whether the input field is empty. If email input.value is an empty string, meaning the user hasn't typed anything. The border of the input field's parent element, the input group div, is reset to a solid light gray border with a thickness of 1 pixel. The error message is hidden by setting its display property to none. The function immediately stops execution using return, preventing further validation. This, if condition checks whether the email does not match the defined regular expression. The test method is used to check if email input.value conforms to the email pattern. If the input does not match, it means the email is invalid. The border color of the input field's parent element changes to solid muted red with a thickness of 1 pixel, signaling an error. The error message becomes visible by setting display to block. If the input matches the email pattern, it is considered valid. The border color of the input field's parent element is updated to solid light green with a thickness of 1 pixel, indicating successful validation. The error message is hidden by setting its display property to none, since there is no need to show an error when the input is correct. It retrieves the error message div using document.getElement by ID error message. It then sets its display property to none, ensuring that the error message disappears when the user clicks inside the input field. This JavaScript script provides real-time email validation, improving user experience by giving instant feedback on incorrect input. The use of border colors makes it easy for users to identify errors visually, while the hide error function ensures a clean interface by removing the error message. When the user interacts with the field, the email input field features a clean, modern design with a soft white background, a light gray border, and an email icon for clarity. Real-time validation checks the format as users type. If left empty, it remains unchanged. But an invalid format, like missing at or an incomplete domain, turns the border muted red and displays an error message. Once corrected, the border smoothly transitions to light green, and the message disappears, ensuring a seamless and user-friendly experience. And that's how you can implement real-time email validation using JavaScript. To all my amazing Patreon supporters, thank you for helping keep this channel going. If you'd like exclusive access to the source code for this project and more, you can join my Patreon starting from just $3 per month. That's it for this tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one.